and we'll roll the old printing press along. We'll roll the old printing press along. We'll roll the old printing press along, and we'll all hang out in kind. Howdy folks, it's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today, cleaning up a little bit more of the strawberries and other things that we have forgotten. How is everyone doing? Welcome in Tim, welcome in Silver, welcome in Uno, welcome in Diamond. Hello. It's very difficult already, definitely. But still, we gotta talk ourselves up. We gotta believe that it's not very difficult. Gotta believe in our power. Because I believe we left off yesterday, we got all of the berries from the first part of Summit and the crystal gem. I believe we already got the crystal gem from part 2, but I am not confident. Oh well, we'll figure it out, I believe. But yeah. So I'm curious, you know, how did bits update? So I did 2 hours of just reading before. It was great. Oh, lovely. Reading is good. I've been able to carve out a little more time in my evenings where I've actually just been like doing that, and it's pleasant to just vibe with a good book. We should make all of these into jam. Strawberry jam. Yes. Also, new book recommendation. Okay. I still need to I've got it on a list somewhere, but the Philip K. Dick one that you're reading is still on a list. I genuinely, even though I'm making more time to read, I have made less than a chapter of progress in the book I'm currently reading. To be fair, the chapters are like 120 pages and there's 3 chapters per book, but still not a whole lot of moving and shaking. The Time Traveler's Wife. Okay, interesting. I'm guessing some interesting chicanery with basically the perspective of someone who's married to a time traveler and is having to deal with them coming in and out and seeing different aging and such. Yay, Avon is indeed alive. Well, you said something about bacon Dark Souls. And yes, we will hydrate, thank you. Favorite book was Where's Wally? Hell yeah. You know, sometimes a good picture book. Yeah, long time no see, but good to have you. Welcome in. Hope things are well. It's the one that I wrote. I have yet to write a book. I've written a short story or 2 for classes, but bleh. Not even a sci-fi thing really, just about the romance together where the man keeps getting lost in time. Oh, interesting. Somewhat reminiscent to me, I guess, of, in Magic the Gathering, there's a character who, since there's people who can walk between the planes, there's a character who, basically is not able to control her planeswalking, and so is kind of constantly getting bounced around. So, I don't know, feels somewhat reminiscent to me of how, her friendships and such. Intriguing. Keep me trapped, you just spent 2,000 balls? Oh no! I mean, I think that is going, wait, actually I can just look at which one is currently in the lead. Keeping Me Trapped is at 93%. Yeah, they are pretty neck and neck though. Oh god, 8 Twitch ads, I'm so sorry, Diamond. And hey, welcome in Not Griffin Man, happy birthday, thank you very much. It is indeed the Johan birthday, as is every day. Japanese, Spanish, Russian / some Cyrillic language, English and French are the Baba streams. Oh, sick! Nice! No, it's not from, well, I mean, that one may be from the break command, because 8 ads is probably the 3-minute ad break that's required to turn off pre-rolls. Blah. Put in 2K. Oh no! I'm going to get so stuck. No, Not Griffin Man has joked that every day is my birthday, so when he's around, every day is the birthday. I saw, and I am intrigued by this. We might have time to check out some customization between Celeste and Rainworld. So that's the first berry, so all Madeline endeavor up until now is pointless. 13 channel points? Hell yeah. What do you call a bird if it falls into a hole? A whole bird. I don't know. The specials of all special updates? Ah. So no nerd emote? It should be there. But again, it's, oh, hold up. Hold up. Blah. Should be there, but again, we only, yeah. It is there, it's just we have limited slots, and it's, it is one of the higher tier ones because that's where we can fit it. Because Twitch gives the like higher tier subscription emotes sooner. Or basically you get more slots for the higher tier ones sooner rather than later, which is strange. I know that the word orangeable rhymes with gullible. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's the only correct way to pronounce it, right? Thought it was a cat. Joe is back. Huzzah. Is he going to be the protagonist of Bacon Souls? Oh, this morning, okay, so Silver playing March and Grideller has given me the itch. I have the ability to make games. I have not made a game, and I should probably fix this. But part of my problem is I have so many grand ideas, none of which I can probably make good on. The itch.io reference? Yes, exactly. Also, we will address the joke in a moment, Robert, because I do not follow. Well, what I was thinking is something sort of in that style of like, I'm going to make it, it is going to be fun, but I do not have to worry about like the quality. Not to say that Garlic Bread Castle is not high quality, but I do not think that is you. I do not think that is an example of you going, yes, I will make the most polished thing in the world. And that's great, that's fine, because that gets you making games, right? You know, if you're getting into whittling, your first one isn't going to be the best one, right? So I do think we want to go up and to the left, because it looks like there might be some sort of secrets over there. But an idea that I had when working in retail that I was reminded of this morning by another friend who currently works in retail, getting way too many boxes. I think just like a very small, stupid, silly retelling of the myth of Sisyphus, but in retail, I think would be something that could be done very well, very simply. It, as part of the excuse for it probably sucking, it's because working retail sucks. So, I don't know, like, I feel like there's something there. I think that is something I will be trying to take a whack at, rather than any of the things where I'm like, oh, this is a really great idea that I think is important to make at some point for the world to see. If you make Bacon Soul, or what would the name be? But yes, sure. Hey, welcome in, Essie. How goes? So, okay, so Rob, so what do you call a bird that was stuck in the hole? A bird-y. I genuinely really do not understand that as a punchline. I can't tell if that's just me or if it's meant to be like an anti-joke. A giant bacon ball? Ooh, we love giant writhing balls of meat. Birdie as in... Oh, God. Oh, I think you're right, Tim. As in one under par. Oh. Oh, that was a stretch, Robert, but Good enough to be recognizable. That hurt. Yeah, could have been an eagle. I think an eagle I probably would have gotten. Birdie, part of my problem, I've got, Birdie is like indexed in my head as like just a person's name rather than a thing. So. Whoop. No. I choose the name of the game. I mean, if it's your creative project, you should come up with the name. I was trying to think of something clever. But I could not, nothing was quite conjuring, because I'm like, bacon and souls is sort of like a tough thing to come up with. It's in hitting white ball with metal club and ground divot with minimal times. Wait, times? Are there golf speedruns? Oh, no, as times at the minimal amount of times. Although, now I kind of want to watch a golf speedrun. I don't have any good ideas for it. I'm not being paid for the creative work. If I have a good idea, I will share it. I just legitimately have none. I will say it is funny because technically speaking, my first Java project, water polo. True. Man, you know, I've always heard about polo. I've never watched polo, but people riding horses and hitting a ball does sound somewhat entertaining, genuinely. The first Java project I did was at like a coding camp, and it was, I really enjoyed a little text-based adventure game called Zork. And so, in my infinite wisdom, I made a text-based adventure game called Pork. Now, this was very poorly done, as I was unfamiliar with basic things like switch statements, so it was all hard-coded, although I did actually, I believe I added a little bit of, like, randomization logic for the attacks. It would put you into, like, an attack loop, and then roll random damage, but, yeah. So, just, I find it amusing that you are also going for something pig/bacon themed early in your messing around with stuff. Classic first adventure game that's a million nested if statements, right? No, we've all done that, I feel. Right, I feel like that's sort of the first step. That's like the most obvious offshoot of learning to do like print statements, right? All speedruns feel like they would have some people illegally making boosted golf courts or something. Yes. Oh god, right, because you would probably need to have like regulation, transportation between them. Although, maybe you just don't allow people to use golf carts, right? Because that's something where make the transportation part of the training. Or alternatively, you get these like really intense pit crews for the golf carts, which would be awesome. Oh, Marsh Pignose? Yeah. Cute little snub pig. Whoop. Bah. Hey, welcome in, Swiffer J. How goes? I am yapping too much to make much progress, but we're having a good time. Would your Rule Discovery level pack count as Baba content, or would it count as its own game? I mean, like, it's fundamentally up to you, right? Like, far be it from me to be the person who tells you what is and is not a game. Like, if it was something I made, I know myself, I tend to talk down on myself, and I would probably say, yeah, that is something where I would probably, for myself, if I did something like that, not count it as, well, it wasn't a proper game, because I didn't make it entirely, but, like, if you feel it's a game, right? Can I tell you a guy that's actually funny? Like, a funny comedian? Or, huh? The end of the bacon game, and it's very shocking, like, not even kidding. Do you get turned into bacon? So, I don't remember. Oh, I did forget to make a Johan tells a joke point redeem. That's what you're talking about. You remember, you weren't there. It's like, if you're asking for comedian recommendations, unfortunately he's dead, but fantastic comedian, George Carlin. I would consider him a funny guy. There we go. What even is the update to bidding? I don't see anything. I don't know. Tim, also good comedian. This is true. Okay, so there's another berry there. So we got the first berry, that's the second berry. Oh, so wow. Okay, so. Do not need, unless, I don't think there's like another hidden berry up here. And that, if there was another hidden berry there, that would probably be shown as. I feel like that took me a really long time to get the first time, so that feels like improvement. I mean, sure. The icon is different now. Is that the update? Really? It doesn't even look different on my screen. Hey, welcome in, AWF. How goes? Okay. Bleh. Okay. So, don't die. Nice and simple. It's my brother? I mean, I assume you mean, like, the brother of the game protagonist? The main villain is a bit. Oh no, a BLT. Oh, yes. Yes. E of the game guy. Yeah. Now, okay, here's something that I've kind of wondered for a while. I have never really been that impacted by in a movie or a game, like the sibling turning out to be evil or whatnot. And I wonder if that's because I'm an only child? Like, is that something people who do have siblings, like, do you notice yourselves being, like, somewhat affected by, like, sibling betrayal storylines and, like, relating it to your own, like, actual sibling? Or is that just me trying to come up with some conjecture for why I am cold and empty and feel nothing inside? Why is there a hole in the room? Which room? Oh, over on the right side? Yeah. See, the thing is, I feel like it's very easy to actually make a game a lot harder than Dark Souls and Elden Ring. And I say this not having played either of them. But, just, like, from watching them, I think it is very easy to make games harder, and much more difficult to make them hard in a playable way. Because, I mean, you can make things just nearly impossible. You can make them miserable so that people have to repeat the same task for hours upon hours upon hours to do the thing. And from what I've seen, Dark Souls and Elden Ring both do that, but they do it in a way that's still somewhat entertaining. There's the gem. I see. Yes. Johan knows how to get in the hole. That's like 90% of what Rain World is. No! Okay. No! Okay. I do want to be clear, Avon, when I'm saying that, that's not to, like, discourage you from doing that. If that's what you want to do, go for it. Make games. Have fun with them. You will have made more games than I have, right? But I'm just, if your goal is, oh, let's make it harder because hard game is fun, think about it. Or better yet, do it and find out. I don't remember, and that's probably a good thing, because gotta blank out my memory. I was told to not look. Games are gaming, yeah. The golden days. But I mean, like, you know, that is my perspective as someone, my perspective as someone who is not, like, super into the difficulty of games. I enjoy games trying to tell me things. There's a kitty cat on your gaming laptop. Yay! Important. I assume the laptop is nice and warm. Oh, man. R2 will be easier, you think, so more people can play? Yeah. And, like, I also want to be clear, I'm not trying to, like, make an argument against difficulty. I think we've had this conversation previously on stream of, I am a big fan of accessibility, especially in, like, games. But I also think that I have definitely seen some people, like, get annoyed at games that use mechanics that are inherently, like, inaccessible or too difficult and things like that. And it's like, not every game needs to be for everybody. If there's a game that relies on something that not everyone can do, or it's too tough for, like, the average person, that's okay. You should still make games for people that want that challenge that's beyond what other folks can do, right? But if it's easy to make the accessibility, go for it. You should. Alright, we got the gem. Huzzah! Hang out on the summit, I see? Yes, we're trying to get the gems, we're trying to get the strawberries, we're trying to clean up. We're missing like one gem, or one strawberry from the first 2 chapters, and then we've got a fair number here. But yeah. We need like 3 rooms of progress in 8B, life is fun. Yeah. Yes, indeed it is. Slow and grueling, but we love it. Aha! Lappy Berry. Oh god, so this is all... Oh no. 1,000 ceiling pops? That sounds terrible. Alrighty. No worries, thanks for hanging out, Avon. Still made no progress on Farewell. I think that's fair. We are a ways away from it ourselves. Bye-bye. Oh man, I think that's gotta be like a double dash, right? No! Can't wait to get back to it next stream. Exciting. Oh! We got it. I don't care that we messed that up, we still got it. Hell yeah. Nowhere near the last room. Uh-oh. A ways to go then. So that... God damn it. So there's a berry back. Where are you, Berry? Where, Berry? So, berries over here, berries to the left, berries to the right. Here I am, stuck in the berry with you. God, I've been making that joke on March stream. Do I just really enjoy that song? I guess, apparently. Beyond, hey guys, I'm back from 30 minutes. I really didn't get to sleep in the middle of yesterday's stream and miss the rain rolls. I did notice your sudden absence without you saying goodbye, which, again, not a problem. People need to leave sometimes. But I was like, oh man, Novo's gonna be sad to miss this. But hey, welcome. And it looked like you caught up on the VOD. I thought many exciting things happened. I thought I was very fancy in how I killed those bats. Okay. So where's the other strawberry? Okay, let's... Maybe it's in this main room. Or... Oh! What if there's a secret? Well, no, because the secret would show it after that, right? Yeah, I don't think there's a secret strawberry here. That's not going to be reversible, is it? So there's got to be a strawberry in here somewhere. Be back in a bit. For real this time. I believe ya. Stuck in the first room with wave dashes. Can't get past the second half. Oh, yeah. Hack that. I guess Farewell is like a cumulative learning. It's the cumulative exam for the rest of the B-sides. So, okay. We're missing a strawberry, and the strawberry comes after, it's between those 2 rooms. I'm going to see if I can loop through there without going through the hole, but, oh man, where else could this be? Hmm. Hey, doing a flip. Thank you, Alyssa, for the bid. Much appreciated. On what? I swear, this scent just fell out of the sky. First blueberries and now pennies. I'm not complaining, but like, such a weird phenomenon. Right? I still can't get over the blueberries. Thank you very much for the bid, Alyssa. How is it going? Welcome in. Whoa. Oh no. Problems have been had. I'm so glad and still also mildly mortified that people remember the blueberry. You're doing amazing? Glad to hear it. This is the new... I tried like 3 different sentences there and none of them came out. This is Frabjous news. There we go. Because Frabjous is such a good word. Blah, crunch. You might have even less time soon. Oh no! Well, hey. As always, we appreciate your lovely, I was going to say face, but your lovely username appearing in chat. Always brightens the day. Crunch, crunch, I know. My fragile little bones. I'm like a slug cat caught in the rain. But yeah, as always, we appreciate when you're able to make an appearance, and no worries when not. We like when people go out and live their best lives. Ink spirits have bones? No, Madeline has bones. Got yourself a girlfriend, so that's going to take some time and effort now. Congratulations! I feel like having a romantic partner is a little bit like graduating from the internet. Fantastic! I'm very glad about that. I hope it works well and she is making you happy. Ink spirit, yeah, no, ink spirits do not have bones. Okay, so what do? So it does not seem that there's a strawberry in this room. There's the gem, but you'd never abandon the internet. Oh no, I'm being tongue-in-cheek. Whoa. Twitch users can do that? They can graduate? Yes. No, I'm being tongue-in-cheek, because yeah, I mean, having a partner does not prevent you from the internet, looks at Tim. No, tis a joke. But do most fantastical question, right? What do we do? There we go. Like, is there a strawberry in this room, maybe? Like, I'm very confused by the fact that it shows us as skipping over one, right? Because I would think that would be, like, in this room then, maybe. Oh, wait. No? What the hell? Are always indicated? Yes, but I'm bad at telling indicators, so sometimes I just smack about randomly. Term has been acquired. Barry is left. It's like, whoa. Did I just slide off the ice? What? But, like, I'm not seeing anything in here that we should be. Barry is left, Bob is you reference. Would I rather abandon the internet or be forced to live 50% of all your days in a VR headset? Ooh. Oh. Man. As someone who really likes to use the internet as a resource for researching things, so would I rather abandon the ability to access the sum total of human knowledge at my fingertips, or live 50% of my days in a VR headset? Man, that's also how I keep in touch with, like, all of my friends these days. I really don't want the 50% VR headset, because that would be miserable. You could probably try and do it while you're sleeping. I mean, I know folks who sleep with, like, a BiPAP and whatnot, so you can definitely do it. It's just, could be VRC. Oh, VR chat. Yeah, I get really motion sick with those, and I can't imagine that would be good and not ruining your vision. I think I'll go, I'll go for the VR headset, but I do it very reluctantly and would just about rather, like, be blind, maybe? Or just close my eyes. Yeah, I think I would have to figure out how to mostly do that while sleeping. God damn. That's evil. Using the VR headset to watch videos? Yeah, but for 12 hours a day? 12 hours a day? I mean, that's... no. How the hell would I work? How would I go out and just enjoy things? And just make my own life in that? No! Like, it's not so... like, look, man. I enjoy this. I care about y'all. But in the grand scheme of things, like, this part of the internet is not as much like what I would be concerned about. There are other activities I can fill it with. I love streaming. I really appreciate and enjoy this. However, I'm way more concerned about, like, being able to look something up on a news website, right? So, dear God. Maybe there's something up there. Smart idea. Alyssa said abandon the internet. I can still use mobile data? That's still internet. No, I do not think that is the brilliant gotcha that you seem to think so. Or that you seem to think. I'm wondering if we can, like, grab that wall and then maybe... like, I can't tell if those are maybe cracks up there to the right that are a hidden wall, but it's probably not. I'm going to go insane. No, and again, it's probably not in this room. Right, we can't dash there. It's probably not in this room, but... man. It's mobile data? That... the internet is the connectivity, not the means by which we look at it. Okay, so... okay, we've explored that. Barry is not in this room. Just want to contribute to let Johan free. Yep, there's a cap of 2,000 per day. Not something that I can choose. Internet is the name. Of course, my bad. God, 95% complete. Oh, God. Wait, hold up. That's the... oh, no. Keep Johan trapped is within 1 donation if someone has 2,000 left to do. Oh, God. Internet for connecting with people? No, no. Internet for research? No, no. Internet for alone time with bottle of lotion? I see. I mean, you know, sometimes you get a really nice bottle of lotion and you just want to, like, just kind of enjoy looking at it, you know? You buy, like, the fancy stuff. It's like a good hair treatment product. This is definitely what you were going for, yes. Trap Johan. God, it's so close. Where could this last berry be? Oh, it's only 300. Oh, dear God. Is let Johan free the face reveal? No. You already have Johan face reveal. Oh God, it's the free that's all. Oh my God. You felt good now. You are die now. You can rest easy. Okay. Where is this berry? I'm so close to being let free though. I'm so excited. I can get out of the cup. Out of the cup. Out of the cup. It's so sad that we can't just, like, return that way. Yes, you did. And we are so close. Wait, I ignored your long message? Where was the long message? Oh! Sorry, yes, sorry, brains skimmed right over it. Funny thing, today we exited 1 hour early from school. Teacher was gone. Instead of going to your house, we had to go to your cousin's house because your dad was constructing something there. So we spent a day in their house. It was an interesting experience. Oh, and yeah, you know, being in someone else's space that you aren't used to and seeing, like, different family norms, definitely a strange thing. What? Can be fun, but also kind of weird. Johan Trap needs 163 points. Oh my God, it is so close. I have no earthly idea where this berry could be. Also somehow managed to discover new equations for your graph thingy you think you never showed. Oh, your graph thingy. The tree one? Or, Let him free! Let me go! Let me be! Okay, I don't know where this berry would be. Thank you very much for the follow, Alyssa. Man, it's so cool to suddenly get all of these new followers. I will say, oh man, I totally forgot to say, we broke 120 followers last night. Apparently, someone followed after the stream, and then Jammer also followed this morning, which was super cool. So, hell yeah, and that allowed me to finally update the follower goal to 200. Huzzah! Somehow I managed. Wait a minute. Oh dear God, huh? Maybe that gives points. Well, part of it, there's a limitation on how many you can contribute per day. Okay, so I don't like looking stuff up, but I want to know where this goddamn berry is, and I have no clue where to look. So this is 7A, checkpoint 2, berry 3. Just going through everything to the left, like the rest of the room before the gem. Yeah, I did go through there, and I did not see anything up there. Go to a place I haven't been before. Exactly, correct. But no, like, I went through there, I wasn't seeing anything. Now, that might just be me being blind, but... because that's probably the last place it could be, but... like, I didn't see anything that looked like I need to dash to it or whatnot. It's the marshiest marsh. It's so amazing that we get to have the actual marsh in chat, like, the best celebrity. Marshiest marsh to have ever marched. Ah. Mwah. Isn't there, like, a DJ that wears a marshmallow on his head? Or am I just, like, making things up now? Will Marsh follow? I think Marsh has already followed. Hey, welcome in, Sigma! How's it going? Not Nobo followed. I'm somewhat dubious. All right. It has been accomplished. I will officially be trapped. All right, one moment. I need to manage that so that we refund the others. But very, very nice. Your rewards are up channel points. And we refund the Let Johan Free. Very nice. Congratulations, y'all. You have kept me locked in a cup. No! Well, Johan, why allow cheating? Because unfortunately, Twitch does not give us the tools to effectively manage otherwise. Alrighty, I have been trapped. Well, new lore will be dropping either tonight or tomorrow. You will get to see what happens when you keep Johan trapped in a cup for your own nefarious ends. Wahahahaha. But yes, you've been refunded quite a few channel points, because all channel points that were put towards setting me free are refunded. 22,000 points, the power I hold. Power overwhelming! Okay. So, looking very carefully in this room. Nope. Okay. How does that work? How does what work? The number of channel points? Whoop. See, Maddie made out of outskirts. Wait, no, I keep forgetting Celeste is not Rain World. True. Yeah, like, I'm not seeing anything that indicates to me a missing berry in here. Is it in the room with the gem? I didn't see anything there. The inskirts. Isn't that just like a hoop? That's what Slughorn needs? Pink hair? Yes. I mean, Slughorn with hair would go hard. Room in the right? This one? But... okay, so there was a winged berry below this room. right? So if you go down and to the right, there's a winged berry, and that shows up as berry number 4. We're looking for berry number 3. So it's going to be before that other room. So I am confusion. Yes, there is a hole in the previous room, but that hole is the gem room. So is the strawberry in the gem room? I looked in there and I didn't see anything in that. I don't want to have to redo that whole thing again. But we might have to. Then look here, but then that room I can't get back out of, so then it takes a while, which is blah. So we want the 3rd berry. Berries when you go in the gem room and leave again? Oh, that would be evil. I might have almost lost your OG account. Oh dear god. From like password protection, but yes. I am trapped. Oh no. Okay. God damn. I am trapped forever. I will never be let free. I don't know what you all are going to do with me. If you guys have suggestions about what you plan on doing. I will come clean. I did look on the wiki, and all I saw was it said something about a bridge. Ha 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 ha. I did not notice that. Evil! You know why I didn't notice that? Can you see the platform behind chat? Me wanting to make sure you guys are featured so prominently has caused so many problems. But it's important. I cheat only when it benefits me and hurts others. You mean like when most people do? Want to grab the cup and hug it and keep it tightly in your arms. Well, I do think Carsey was suggesting that. Carsey was very much pulling for the keep Johan trapped to have a little pocket Johan. So it seems like you guys don't want like the immense ink powers. You guys are like, oh, I want this cute little ink spirit to be living in my home so we can have some sort of sitcom type plot. Cheat specifically to make others suffer. That sounds about right. Yeah, keep Johan as a pet. That seems to be kind of like the idea of it. Okay, okay. And now you have not Novo available. True facts. There we go. New Sims decoration, Johan. You know, I don't actually own The Sims, but that could be a fun little modding challenge. Add Johan to the game, because I'm confident that there's a lot of modding stuff. Also, I'm sorry, I would like to say, I take some issue with that being the 3rd berry. Because, nah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. The ordering of those berries is weird. I don't know what the naturalistic order would be. Sims 4 is free? Okay, well then. I might need to figure out if I can add a little 3D model of Johan. True multimedia storytelling. See, back in my day, I remember playing the original Sim City. None of this newfangled Sims nonsense. With the way this country is run, but we can't all have our ways. True facts. March on the ground followed. Who's that one? Just want free breadsticks? Yeah. I have always thought it would be quite funny. I have like 50 alt accounts. Why didn't I log in on any of them? Don't know. I will say, our follower count is somewhat inflated by all of the alts, so... Which is, I mean, part of why it's like, follower count is less relevant than how many people are actually showing up. Fake Marsh. Well, right, this is Marsh on the ground. This is not Marsh. This is the embodiment of Marsh memification, I would assume. Oh, right, if we bounce, we get an extra... Boingy boingy. There we go. Awesome. It's in the equations of your graph thing real quick. It's like graph theory thing with nodes. Okay. I don't know how much I will get out of that. Sorry, Jack, right? Oh yeah, ban them all. Dun dun dun. No, Alyssa, the thing about like free breadsticks and like how the country's run, I have always thought it would be funny to like in a country with democratic elections, just like have a bunch of joke candidates that are like, ah yes, free beer for everyone. Like we will get you hot and cold running beer taps. Just to like make everyone else look good by comparison. So perhaps your equivalent of that is free breadsticks for all. Tried to understand Nobu's thinking and got confused. Uh-oh. Well then what hope do I have? We have one called Johan Vlemix. Oh no, you found out about me. You met him once? Is he at least entertaining? Because I will say, I have definitely seen the joke candidates that like go from being funny to just like, ah, could you please stop wasting resources? One I will say that I've seen, I had a friend, I don't remember exactly where he runs. I think it was somewhere in America. But goes by Vermin Supreme, wears a boot on his head, and promises free ponies for everyone. I'm like, you know what? That's at least like the classic promise, right? So I can kind of get behind that. He's just an all-around strange guy, and once made a political party called the Party Party, which had as their most important point one free huge national party after COVID. I mean, that's kind of rad. The Party Party. I mean, talk about, like, the ultimate populist politics, right? He also made some songs and is a TV presenter sometimes. Eccentric fellow. Interesting. I do feel like a lot of the folks who do, like, joke candidacy stuff, I have seen a number of them are folks that will also, like, you know, avail themselves of public broadcast TV, which makes sense. Because, like, you know, it's obviously people who have fun sort of goofing around in public, so making use of, you know, whether it's YouTube or if there's, like, a public broadcast program where people can basically just sign up, makes sense that they would use it. Good thing you're not working tomorrow. Hey, that's what I was going to say. Is it perhaps the Silver Fillet, but has marsh? Is this a bit like, Pinocchio and Geppetto? Oh yeah, he's just doing side quests, I feel like. Hell yeah. Wasn't there... Oh, okay, hold up. Johan Yap unlocked. Wasn't there a wizard in New Zealand? Like a municipal wizard? Wizard. The Wizard of New Zealand! Yeah! This guy. Has like 10 world records and they're all done? Perfect. So this is someone who's figured out the secret to life of, hey, if I'm just goofy enough, I can sometimes get money for it. The Wizard of New Zealand, born Ian Brackenbury Chanel, is a British-born New Zealand educator, comedian, illusionist, and politician. He's also known by a shorter name, The Wizard. Like, I forget everything they did, but he was, I believe, hired as basically just like, hey, we need to, like, reach out to the youth. And got, like, people interested in politics and whatnot, which, like, I don't know. As a job, that seems kind of rad. Like, I would 100% love to be a municipal wizard. But yeah, like, he's still, like, speaking on stuff on the town, but he was trying to retire because he was part of Christchurch. In October 2021, the Christchurch City Council ended its contract with the Wizard after 2 decades of service. The Wizard said he was disappointed, but will continue to appear in the city. Yeah, like, that's... Why don't they tell us about this kind of thing at job fairs, right? Like, come on. Thank you for the hydrate, Marcius Marsh. But yeah, I don't know, like, just little PSA. A little reminder that as someone who is, really struggles with the... Did this get louder or am I crazy? As someone who struggles with, like, idea that my work has value, just remember that, you know, just like you can point to a CEO who is comically lacking in training, and go, oh, you know, just about anyone can do stuff. You can also point to people who are just kind of all around vibing and having a good time and go, you know, you can also get paid for that if you know how to do it right. Ooh, who could the Alyssa be? Whoa! No! See, that's Alyssa concerned about not having as much time to watch. The pro move, if you just watch with multiple accounts, it's like having extra eyes. Please note, I am not actually advocating this, because I think that would technically be against TOS. Look, man, we're just trying to goof. Thank you for the follow, definitely not Alyssa. At some point, I probably should clean up the follows from all of the duplicated accounts. Just so that we have a slightly better idea of what we've actually got going on under the hood. Oh. Whoa! Eat too much breadstick and now your tummy hurts. No! This is truly tragic. Guys, is that a... But no, that's very sad. It's so sad that the things we love the most in life sometimes really hurt. Like too many breadsticks. I would like to petition, if there is a creator, that he make our tummies stronger, that we might properly feast upon the things that bring us joy. I really hope I did not miss the last strawberry already. I will be very sad. Use this for super epic special March news and announcements. Yes, perfect. Okay. I do like that we can just sort of stay here. What if I told you that we did already miss it? Well, I would cry. And would you want to see Johan cry? If so, what kind of monster are you? North on the ground suing for copyright. Well, wouldn't that technically be a trademark? Actually, I believe that would be considered a trademark. As March on the Ground is not, in fact, an intellectual work, and therefore, it's more of a trading phrase. Exactly. Yeah. Oh. Listen to Johan, you stupid fillet. Man, can I just say that calling someone a fillet actually seems like a really kind of great insult? Ah, so what if we do this manually? Can we... Strawberry. We found the berry. We found the berry. We found the berry. Oh, but we can't go the rest of the way. But like, I'm a very big proponent of I'm a very big proponent of insults that are like less aggressive. Like, I don't know, like swearing, yes, sometimes can be used to great effect, but I think like I would genuinely be much more shaken by someone saying "what you egg" than "what you insert long string of expletives." Like, you know, why am I an egg? Why are you calling me that? Why did you feel that I was being so stupid you need to dunk on me with Shakespeare, right? You're holding the on March figure right now? Aw. You're showing, look at what you can become. Eventually we imbue it with life. Spinning Madeleines. Yin-yangalin? People invading your space while you're eating me is, yeah. Hey, you egg. So, thing about that, Nobo, I am someone who, like, I have not had bad experiences with people, like, taking my food, but I am someone who is, like, very, like, do not touch me plate. It is my plate. You will stay away from me. Get your grubby little hands away. So I get very, very tetchy about my food, but, it was really nice, a little while back, I was eating with some friends at a restaurant, and one of them, like, reached for a fry. I was like, oh, they're like, oh, okay, I won't do that. I was like, no, it's ostensibly okay, I'm a little weird about it. And they understood, and I realized I'm like, oh, they actually, like, noticed I was uncomfortable, crazy, and then, like, reacted appropriately. I was like, oh, I know that you will listen to my comfort. Yes, you can have my fry. Like, I'm okay with you taking the fry because you have asked. I was like, oh my god, my people. Listen here, you easy to draw spirit. Ouch. See, no, but like that is what I aspire to, right? Like that's the kind of insults we need more of. You know, if we're going to insult people, we need to at the very least know that we're listening to each other, right? I've called someone fries with applesauce as an insult multiple times, or friet appelmoes in Dutch. That's amazing. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like, I think those insults both do a better job of getting the person to be, like, genuinely taken aback, because it's like, you know, what does that mean? Why are you saying this to me? It's genuinely far more upsetting in certain ways, but at the same time, I know personally, I'm not going to be, like, as offended. One moment. So sorry. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, like, I wish that those were the more frequent insults, because it's like, I think that is both gentler and also more effective. They noticed you were uncomfortable and acted appropriately, right? Isn't that, like, hot damn. I have some good friends, I'm very happy about it. I think Dutch is the perfect language for insults that don't sound like them. Oh, I missed that one. But yeah, no, exactly. Friet appelmoes. I have not been keeping up on my Dutch, so I'm sorry, I probably pronounced the diphthong incorrectly. But, no. Favorite insult you might be klapkut? That one is just an insult? Does it mean anything in particular, or? Whoa. Okay. Safety. Is this your sister and you call each other silly and we get super offended in joke way, like, oh, you silly. Oh no. I've recently taken to dingus as like a sort of a similar kind of deal. Okay, so we got that strawberry. I think that's the first one. Interesting. Bag of hay is also fun. Interesting, okay. Yeah, a little Dutch swearing is fine, but again, like, generally, like, that is something where I'm, by and large, fine. Like, I generally trust Tim on language as someone who is also a streamer to not make me say anything bannable. But, like, even then, like, again, swearing I do not think is an inherently bad thing. The only reason that I try to avoid swearing much on the channel is literally just because I've noticed that I've taken to swearing quite a bit, so, you know, in my pursuit of being more creative with insults and whatnot, I want to make sure that I am actually using my language well. Word for silly in Spanish is bobo, boba, depending on gender. Yeah. That's just kind of a great word. Like, I think part of why boba tea became... Yeah, no, exactly, Tim. That's what I was going to say of... I think I have to imagine that a big part of why boba became such, like, a phenomenon is because it's genuinely just really fun to say. Hey, you ovum. I mean, all people come from them. Didn't I get this one? I did. But I'm also not confident where we're at, so that is the first one. Okay. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that hard to get, which, you know, we got it. And I wanted to try and figure out, I wanted to use it as a way to figure out where we were. Yeah, like, I don't know. I think this is my little PSA for please be creative in your insulting. I think it makes the world a better place. If someone deserves your ire, they also if someone is deserving of your ire, they are also deserving of, you know, careful selection of your insults. No way, the clocks go back on March 1st birthday, March's first birthday. Ooh. And daylight savings time and daylight and spring forward, such weird things. It is also still frequently used in English at the very least for like scientific reference to the egg cells of a woman. Or the female reproductive egg cell. Because turns out a decent part of Western culture is simply uncomfortable referring to most parts of sexual anatomy. Crazy. Pom pom pom. Okay. Do we need to go across this room for something, or... So, there's a number of different places here. Okay, so we got this berry. Okay. Means the March birthday will be the longest day of the year. Yo! So, March birthday, summer solstice? Wait a moment. No, hold up. Ooh. So there's a berry over there, but I don't think... No, so we can't get there from here. We need to go the other route? Because the solstice, the summer solstice is the longest day of the year, yes? So how do we get... Oh! Oh, ho, 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 ho. Berry acquired. Okay. Man, that looks like there should be something there. Also, all of the, like, background, the background platforms are a little strange to me. Okay, so what about over here? Is this just a fancy route, or? Okay. Whoop. No! In fact, so we do need to save a dash, which I hadn't really thought about the first time through here, but it's having to save a dash is a very interesting way of kind of, after a sort, negating the extra dash that we have, because you have to act as if you only have the one save for these areas. Ah, there's definitely a secret over there, possibly the gem, possibly a strawberry. That looks like a gem. Oh, but it's just a viewing port? How do we get in there? Huh. I'm not seeing a clear entrance. But it looks like... Ah, there's the entrance. I'm just a bit blind. Okay. Uh-oh. This is gonna be a tricky one. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. The Johann does not deal well with so much movement. Hey, welcome in, Aya. How's it going? And thank you for the hydrate, Marshiest Marsh. Makes me think I should get some hot chocolate, although apparently I gave up that with one of the other Would You Rathers. You're tired? That seems like a reasonable state to be in, probably for a decent chunk of all life, so... I am sorry that you are the big tired, but hopefully you get some time to relax and rest today. Marsh just likes that button. Believable. You love getting 4 hours of sleep? Ah, yes. I have been doing that to myself quite frequently recently, although I actually got, I think, 6 hours of sleep last night, so yay me taking care of myself. There we go. Whew. Gem. Oh, 4 seconds of sleep? I mean, a little micro-napping never hurts. Well, that's false. Micro-napping can hurt, but, you know, just make sure you're not micro-napping behind the wheel or anything. Oh, right, we've got all of those little stony things. Waha! There we go. What's that? Micro-napping? It's mostly joking. There are people who think that they can take, like, little, couple minute naps, and that's equivalent to, like, proper sleep. This is incorrect, because you need to actually... Best as we can figure, sleep and the rest component thereof is kind of predicated on getting REM cycles in, so which usually take sort of dedicated time to get your body into the rhythms required for REM sleep. Wait, so is that the last strawberry? Which strawberry is that? Oh, no, that's probably the 4th strawberry, because that's the only other one we've got. Okay, so the other strawberries are over there. Small yawn, right? Very small. No, I mean, like, sleep is a neat thing. It is something that I am maybe a little more well-versed in than most, because I have some concerns about potential, like, medical sleep issues that I may end up having to deal with. But, I mean, sleep is a very interesting thing, because we know it's important, we know people can die without it, but we don't fully understand what it is. We think it has something to do with, like, the indexing of memories, but memory is another thing that we, like, really do not have a fantastic understanding of. All the educational rants you used to listen to? Yep. I like to talk about stuff. People can die without it? Yeah. You can die from a lack of sleep. I'm trying to remember... I forget what the exact mechanism is. I can't remember if it's just basically your brain stops being able to regulate things appropriately and you die of, like, organ failure, or if there's, like, a particular chemical buildup. I forget what it is. Good night, Aya. Get some good rest. Hopefully you get more than 4 hours of sleep. Why would your brain make you die from not getting enough sleep? It's because your brain isn't making you die, it's that the brain needs sleep to function. I mean, so... This is not a scientific thing. Do not take this as like, this is what it means, but there have been plenty of studies into, like, sleep deprivation and driving, right? And if you are, I think 3 hours of sleep? No, hold up. I want to be very careful when I'm talking about this, because this is something that's important to me. Sleep deprivation versus drunk driving. I'm trying to remember what the rough equivalency is. Because, so, when you are getting drunk, you are poisoning yourself, right? Like that, you are microdosing poison, which for some reason is humanity's favorite. Yay! I mean, that's essentially true of a number of drugs and alcohol. Alcohol is a drug, right? We are introducing chemicals to our body that make it function in different ways, which is essentially what poison and toxin does. Now, again, that's also what medicines do, right? That is functionally how we impact our body. Your brain can't process thoughts, so you die of aneurysm? No, because an aneurysm is very specifically a blood clot. I believe an aneurysm is there's a blood clot that gets stuck in your brain. Because it's similar to a stroke, but slightly different. I forget all of the specific details there. Real question is, why would your brain make you sleep in the first place? And avoid predators while sleeping, which is why you see some birds and some aquatic ones will, do half a brain at a time, so they can basically wake up super quick. Dolphins love getting drunk too, yeah. Also think basically every animal with a brain sleeps, so it must be something fundamental. No, exactly. Like, we don't know exactly. We think it has something to do with memory processing, but we don't know exactly. You looked at your higher order function example? I have not. Last night, basically this week has gotten very busy socially. So it will probably take me a while. I do want to do that, but it is something that I know myself. I will probably need to sit down for like 3 hours where I'm not having to deal with the outside world so I can just sort of chunk through it, and probably noodle around with it on my own. But yeah. So it will be a little while. It is there. I'm excited to look at it because I hope it helps me understand functional programming. But yeah, no, like it's sleeping is something that seems to be very fundamental. We don't fully understand why, but it is basically, I forget what the approximate equivalency is. And whenever a study says like, oh, you know, this much sleep is equivalent to this much, you know, drinking or whatever, there's so much variability in how people react, right? Okay, so a study that is being put forward by sleepfoundation.org, which I generally trust for a lot of information pertaining to sleep. They have done a relatively good job of vetting studies that I have looked at. After approximately 18 hours of being awake, the effects on reaction time, vigilance, multitasking, and hand-eye coordination are comparable to having a blood alcohol content of 0.05%. 20 hours of being awake, drowsy drivers are impaired on a level equitable to 0.08% blood alcohol content, which is the current legal limit in most states, so US-based. After 24 hours, awake impairment is equivalent to a blood alcohol content of 0.1%. Because basically, like, I know that there are a number of religions that have, like, a mandated, get drunk and party. Like, I believe there's 2 Jewish holidays? Something along those lines. I only vaguely remember this conversation with a rabbi who was previously, who was a recovering alcoholic. There's the proper language for it. And basically, there are holidays where he was supposed to be getting drunk to fully fulfill that mandate. And that's a bad idea for someone who's an alcoholic. So what he did, and there's a lot of like rabbinical discourse on this, is you can stay up for a certain amount of time. I believe it's 3 days is considered equivalent to being as absolutely hammered as they're asking you to get. Example is super simple and you can read and get what's going on in like 5 minutes. I've had people give me simple functional programming examples in the past, quote, so example even violates some of the functional programming rules. Oh, okay. It's still, it is something I have had people try to explain this to me in the past. It is something I need, it will probably take me a while. It might be fast, but I need to block out that time so that I don't end up forgetting to eat or blowing people off. This is how I work. It is part of why I have a lot of struggles functioning. Basically sleep is something that in a number of cases has been demonstrated to be sleep deprivation can be similar to getting drunk or otherwise high. Do it on stream? No. We've got other things like Rainroll to get to. We may take a look at it. We may take a look at it and the graph stuff here in a little bit, because we'll probably be transitioning from Celeste to Rainworld here in like half an hour. So we might take a look at it then as like a little transitional thing, and we can see if it is not happening soon, that is okay. Yeah, so basically me on my little high horse. Aha. Yes, Berry. So me on my little high horse, please get enough sleep, especially before operating a motor vehicle or any sort of heavy machinery, because it is, while we don't fully as with many things in science, while we don't fully understand the mechanism of it, we understand that it can kill you and can also cause grievous harm to others if you're making poor choices about it. So please be mindful of your sleep. It is important for yourself and others. Okay. I do enjoy how much of science, particularly like psychology, is literally just like, what is sleep anyways? Going into a state of, there we go. There we go. Pom pom pom. Always assumed when people say don't operate heavy machinery, they meant like excavators and cranes. Yeah, no, cars is typically included in that. I do also know, again, a lot of the stuff I realize, I watch a lot of content that's like US and Canada based, so I'm like, I know it's true in here, I don't actually know about the rest of the world. Like, I try to watch a lot of international content, but a lot of the, like, YouTube I watch tends to be US or Canada. But I watch a couple of, YouTube trucking channels. So basically long haul delivery trucking. And, there's a mandated sleep period for them. Like, the sleep of the semi-truck drivers gets monitored, because if they aren't sleeping enough in a night, that is incredibly dangerous with something that large. Like, yes, a car is a type of heavy machinery. A semi-truck, very heavy. So, it is something where, sleep is genuinely very important. I know, I know from, like, college and work, there are a number of times people will be like, aha, I did this on only 4 hours of sleep. And it's like, no, please don't be proud of that. Like, you can be impressed with yourself. If that was something where you needed, that was like a requirement, you can be impressed with yourself, but please, like, don't wear that as a mark of pride to other people. Do not think that other people should be following in those footsteps, because that's really unhealthy. Yes, print hello world works. Yes, I do understand that. The filter function, so I'm trying to think, because I looked at this a while back with JavaScript, because I know I've used this on code that I've been paid to write. If you do filter, so if you've got an array, God, I can never remember, because I'm so used to, like, array lists in Java, so I can't remember if JavaScript handles arrays as a static object or if they are malleable. Oh, no, that's right, JavaScript does allow you to move around, because you got, like, array.pop. But, God, also, where berries? But, for real, yes. So what's happening, so I've got an array that's like, I've got an array that says, okay, hold up. See, this is my problem. I can't code well, aren't really arrays, yeah. No, coding requires a little bit more thought than I think I can probably do effectively here. But yeah, they're lists. But basically, if I've got like 3 items that say A, and then I say filter X, so array.filter, okay, so we'll call the array foo, and it's got 3 letter X's and 2 letter Y's as strings. And I say foo.filter X, and then we do the lambda function to X is not equal to the string X. Why does everyone do that? Because it's a programming convention from in the early days, and then everyone else picks it up as just the thing you do. Foo and bar, yep, and there's a couple of other ones that sometimes gets taken even further out, but yeah. Like, it's one of those things where it's convention because it's convention. So you do foo.filter X lambda, X is not equal to the string X. That would filter out anything where, I can't remember if it would filter out anything where it's not equal to the letter X, or if it would filter it to only the things that equal letter X. Spam ham and eggs, nice. I feel like I'm missing so many berries. I mean, that was kind of slick, but... A slick butt. Okay, why is that a higher order function? My understanding is that a higher order function is a function that returns a function. Oh. Do I already? I've already got B-side for this, don't I? Or am I crazy? because you pass it a function as an argument. Oh, okay. Because you're passing it how to filter. And thank you, Tim. Okay, because like my understanding of functional programming. Man, okay, so we have gone too far because that's the fourth berry. Hey, welcome in, Jammer. Also, thank you very much for the follow. You put us over that 120 mark. Woohoo! We are cruising. But how is it going for you today? Whoa. I don't suppose there's a secret berry up here. Going fine? Lovely. In mathematics and computer science, a higher order function is a function that takes at least one of the following. Takes one or more functions as arguments, i.e. a procedural parameter, which is arguments, or which is a parameter of a procedure that is itself a procedure, returns a function or a value as its result. The equation that you found out about your graph today was one that relates the number of nodes divided by their types to the number of total connections on the graph. Gotcha. Working on a weird programming project. Well, perfect, because I'm trying to focus on playing Celeste, and we'll probably need to say, no, I'm not doing this anymore until we hit a break soon. But we are currently trying to get Johan to understand higher order functions in programming. Not as methods, so as a parameter, so or as an argument. So you are actually passing it a function. We were using the example of filter. Because a method is just a function that is not within a particular... It's been a while, because as I understand it, functions are typically referred... So a method is a function that is attached to an object in object-oriented programming, right? Yeah. Yep. It is indeed hard. Filter and map are some of the most commonly used higher order functions. Right, because you are passing them a function. But like functional programming, so yes, those I understand, but what has always really tripped me up with functional programming is that you're supposed to return functions, which I guess I struggle with. I understand recursion. I understand returning a function returning itself until it gets down to a base case. What I don't understand is how you actually resolve anything in a purely functional case. Like, how would I add 1 + 1 in functional programming? That, like, I have not ever had someone be able to explain that to me in a way that made sense. Wow, I genuinely can't believe that we already got this, because I am kind of on the struggle bus. Whoop. And I know that we've already gotten this, but I should... No. You know what? I shouldn't be looking at this. I should be looking back if there's a strawberry. There might be strawberries hidden in the curtains, maybe? Thank you, we will hydrate indeed. Yes, Nobo? Be very interesting, someone who is able to code your graph thing, although I think it wouldn't be different from paper and pen. Gotcha. Yeah. Coding it can be fun. Oh god, so we literally can't go back? Blah. What do you mean? To add 1 + 1, you just make a function add 1 and 1 and return 1 + 1? Oh. So... Hold up. So, an equation is... So, instead of having it return 2, you have it return 1 + 1? Oh hey, do we have anyone who wants to plunge a knife into poor little intangible blossoms? Good job, Tim. Wetting your blade. Stabby stab! Yeah! I'm going to restart this just because... So we missed some in... Wait, what? Hold up. Turn to map. What exactly do I want the function to do? Well, I'm just trying to understand how it works. I mean, 1 + 1 is such a basic example. It's the same in any paradigm. So that is considered a function? I just, that that is, I guess, that is below what I had been previously, what I would have thought of as a function. Thank you for the hydrate. We started at the section where I selected. Yeah, that seemed to be the case. Of course that's a function. Well, yeah, that's, I guess I would not have thought of that, but I guess it could be concatenation. It could also, I guess addition would also be a way of doing it. Yeah, no, okay. So I think that might have been my fundamental thing, is I think everyone that was trying to teach it to me, that's what restarting a chapter does. Weird, yeah, okay. But that might, in the same way of like, it's really hard to explain to someone what you don't know because you don't know it. I suspect that just everyone trying to teach me just sort of assumed that that was well known. You don't have to return functions. Functions can return values in functional programming. Okay, that's also not how it's been explained to me. From what I understand, the key to functional programming is pretty much everything is input-output rather than mutating some state. Okay. I thought you said that you don't understand is how a function can return a function. I can understand... this is true. I did not understand how that could be used to get a value, basically. Because and I was wondering that, I had that as a question because my understanding was that functional programming, simply, you did not ever return a solid value. But I do also, when you say that, Sigma, that's ringing some bells in the back of my mind. So functional programming is stateless programming? Kinda, sorta? Which seems like it would have very limited use cases, but I assume that's also way oversimplifying it. Entirely, yeah, okay. Function is just things that do things when called. Sometimes that thing requires some data, but not always. Sometimes that thing returns data, but not always. Right, like I've used void calls, same as the next person, right? Like I get that they don't always have to return a value. I guess it is something where, because I am so used to, 1 + 1 as an equation in math, it's just never been framed to me as a function. When functional programming is that the functions don't have side effects, so they simply take an input and return an output without affecting it. So a functional paradigm could still have, I'm trying to sort an array. I have my array foo, and I pass that to an array that does a, a bubble sort. I don't know, that's one of the sorting algorithms I can remember the name of. So, I pass foo into a function that performs a bubble sort. In object-oriented, I can have that actually mutate and perform the sort directly on foo. Or, if it was a functional paradigm, I couldn't do that because that would be affecting the state. What I would need to do is have it perform the bubble sort on a copy of foo, and then return the copy of foo? Question mark? Function like add might take two numbers, let's say integers, and return the sum of those two integers. Okay, if a function takes an array, sorts, and returns a sorted array, it is functional. But what you can't do is modify the array in place. Okay. So yeah, so you can modify and return a copy, but you can't... Okay, well that's... Then I think what's happened is I have had people trying to tell me how superior it is and coming up with absolute nonsense. And then asking people that I actually trust and care about who have a loose grasp on it to explain it. And I'm asking questions about the wrong things because I was taking to heart these people trying to tell me why functional programming was so much better, who were just coming up with stuff. Yeah, it's a particular system of doing. All right, bedtime for you. Good night, Chat and Johan. Good night, Tim. Thanks for hanging out. Get good rest. But okay, that is not bad. Okay. Thank you for helping me understand. I have no clue where these strawberries could be. There's two of them that we're missing. But okay, yeah, so I guess my problem has been that I did not understand what people were meaning by functional programming, and they could not adequately describe it? No, not professional programmer, just took some courses. Oh no, I've got a comp sci degree. Like, we never actually talked about functional programming in my classes, so like, yeah. You know, I've done an internship, so I can even technically say that I have been a professional programmer, but like, meh. If maybe incorrect or incomplete. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for the grain of salt, but yee. You ate the strawberries. Guess the reason functional programming is better is because you don't break your existing code by simply adding an arbitrary function call to your program, I guess? Since there are no side effects, you don't have some function call break something completely unexpected due to shared state you weren't aware of. Oh, good night! Yes! Ganazda na higate. And like, I get that, but I guess similar to like camel case, right? It's, if there are different reasons to use different things, I think trying to claim that one is better than another is sort of like, eh? Pointer dereferencing is? Oh god, because that's something that you're doing in C++, and I have tried deeply to avoid. I want to understand computer memory better, but I have not bothered. Pointers, yay, yeah, no. I like Java where it just treats it as the pointer anyway. Love them. Are you masochistic? Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so somewhere in between these rooms are 2 strawberries. C++ is not bad because pointers. C++ is good because pointers. I don't use C++ because I don't like pointers. Now I just learned C++ first? Fair enough, fair enough. Programmed a little bit of C, only know the basics of memory management, yeah. Pointers are fine by you unless you have to do manual memory freeing. Yeah, like, I enjoy when I do not have to worry about pointers and they're dealt with under the hood. I would like to understand them better, so that they aren't as much of like a scary thing if and when I have to deal with them. And I know that they have a lot of use cases, right? There's a reason to do manual memory management, because sometimes you need things to be super efficient. At the same time, that is not 90% of what we write these days, because, you know, it kind of feels like memory and storage come in cereal boxes just about. Well, at some points. I'm still so impressed that, because when I was looking at, like, 2 years ago even, buying like a 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte SSD was in the, like, couple $100, whereas now it's like 60, which, hot damn. Nobo hair reveal? Huh? Pointers are so good though, integral to a bunch of your stuff, like linked list. I mean, yeah? But, oh no, I have not had call to use a linked list, really. And I think there are implementations for them in other languages, but... C++ you're beloved, but Java's like actually used, yeah. So much time spent helping students with stuff because they thought they should dynamically allocate everything. Oh no. You're not writing like a graphics rendering engine from scratch, you don't really need to understand any of it. Ignore the extraneous yeah, no worries. I like to understand on a basic level how... I think I've talked about it a little bit before. The channel that I've done nothing on and would like to do some like video essays on, I call the Printing Press Revisited, because, hey, welcome in, Pug! Oh, right, sorry, you sent the face, and my brain was like, oh, hey, Pug's here, and just did not verbally acknowledge. Hello! Hope things are going well. Good to see ya. Oh crap, we probably even went past the strawberries already. No! Where are these strawberries? Things are going good, you have a Hot Pocket? Hell yeah. What more does one want in life than a Hot Pocket and some good bats to eat in Rain World? Okay, no, that's like the literal only... What? Okay, we need to think about this. Learning how computer memory works in college actually turned out to be worth it for modding, since I actually understood what virtual memory was. Well, yeah, like, I've done a little bit of assembly code. I've messed around... I need to actually mess around with it more. I forget the name of the program, but I could probably dig it up. I had a course that was all about actual, like, how the circuits work. Where we were actually, like, we recreated a core logic unit. as a circuit, which was really neat because it's, you know, it's stringing together the half adders and subtractors and figuring out how to like manage that. That is something I want to do that a bit more. It is something where I words about assembly code. Assembly generally isn't, at least for me, if you want to take a look at assembly, my biggest recommendation that helped me a lot when getting on board with it was do a little bit of like batch scripting, because a lot of the logic, just like knowing something as simple as doing a like go-to loop helps make it less terrifying. The hell is assembly code? So assembly, when we're coding in Java and C++ and all of these things, they're higher order, right? These are things where we are typing human-readable functions that then a compiler goes through and turns it into machine-readable code. Basically, and that is typically the assembly code. The assembly code is a lot closer to what the computer understands. Because remember, way back in the day, programming was originally punch cards, right? It was binary on physical cards that you run through it. Then you get into binary coding, where you are typing in, you are manipulating the bytes specifically, you are typing in, typically someone has sat down, figured it out, and you are typing in things manually into your computer byte for byte, and you can change things. If you make a typo, you have problems. Or you can maybe load it off a floppy disk. And then, yeah, sort of right above that is you have assembly, which is a bit more human readable, but you don't, like, call a array to string function. You say, I'm going to reference this particular part of memory. That memory contains this function. Programming that directly operates the material process that a computer undergoes. Yeah, you're directly addressing the memory where the functions are stored. Which I actually remembered it from college, but I only did like 2 assembly projects. Yeah, I had 1 class on it, basically. Assembly code is like the code, but funnier. Worse for reading in every way, yeah. So normal code is you type stuff and it gets translated for the PC, but assembly is you type directly. Assembly is still like 1 order above that. It's, so basically, your computer reads things in binary. Okay, hold up. We are not getting through more Celeste right now. Everyone here familiar with what a half adder is? So, well, just for everyone, assembly is basically the code that the CPU runs. Kinda, sorta. So just basically, this is what your computer is, right? At its most basic level. Right, the assembly is mapped to binary. Assembly is still a higher order code. This is what your computer is. You've seen one made in Redstone, yeah. So, basically, so not everyone here necessarily knows how to read logic gates, but basically, this is an AND gate, this is an XOR gate. So basically what this does, this is, you take 2 inputs, and then you have 2 outputs, okay? So, these 2 inputs go into both logic gates, and then we'll have an output. You can replicate this in Redstone. This is why Minecraft is Turing complete, right? Languages, assembly maps, one. I don't know exactly how, we'll talk through it, let's find out. There's a game called Turing Complete where you basically build a computer from scratch, and it's awesome. I would love to play around with that. Because yeah, this is basically, does this mean that both can never be on? Not quite. So, basically, exclusive OR... Hold up, brain. It's been a little while. Wait, does this have an... I could do this by hand, or... Okay, no, we're just going to look at this, and we can talk it through. So, A and B. The XOR means that it will only turn on... Yes, no, they will never both be on at the same time. You're absolutely correct. Yep. You're correct. So, basically... XOR means, so, okay, 4 basic parts of logic gates. You have AND. If you put 2 inputs into AND, it's all 1s and 0s, right? True and false. So, AND produces false, 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 true, or true, false, also outputs false, true, true, it's true. So, basically, an AND gate is only active if both inputs are 1, both are true. Then, you have OR gates, which are false, false, outputs false, and then false, true, true, false, and true, true, all output true. So that's a only one of them, one or both, will activate an OR gate. Not flips the input or the output. So a NAND gate, a not and, would be true for anything that isn't both inputs. So true would turn, so true for an AND gate becomes true. A NAND gate, that gets flipped to false. So it sort of, it inverts. And then finally you have XOR. XOR is exclusive OR, which means it's like an OR gate, but it doesn't activate if both are true. So false and true are false for an XOR, and then false true and true false are true for an XOR. And not flips the gate 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Exactly, and you can put that on either input or output. You can, not is where stuff gets, like, explodes out. For binary, right? And I'm saying true, but yeah, it's zeros and ones, right? XOR can be stated as both inputs are different. That's a very good way of putting that. So this is a half adder. This is the simplest component of a bit of basically computer logic. This is how your computer starts to add two numbers. I do not remember how to do a full adder or subtractors and all of these. I could recreate that. That would be fun to do. I should refresh myself. But this one I remember because basically, I wholeheartedly believe that would be possible, just massive to do, Robert. But basically, so what this is saying is, so if we've got 0 and 0, right? AND will be false, and XOR will also be false. So this will output 0 and 0. If A is true or B is true, so either one, right? So it can either be 1 0 or 0 1. These will both be the same case. We will get from the XOR a true, because one is active but not both, and the AND will be 0. So we will get 1 0. And then finally, if both are true, both are 1, XOR turns off, and then the carry, the AND gate, becomes 1. So basically what this is saying is, what this does is, if it's 0 plus 0, you output 0 sum and 0 carry. If it's one or the other, that's 1 plus 0, which outputs 1 and no carry. And if both are true, it outputs 0 and a carry, which basically means that's going to be a 1 in the next spot over on the binary. Hold up one moment. Let me actually open. Hold up. I'm going to visually mute things so that I can open up my drawing software. I just want to make sure that I don't have any secrets or little surprises there. Bom, bom, bom. The Celeste has gone away. No! Boom, addition, pretty much. Psych degree is doing me no favors. No. Hey, in fairness, Swift, I have a comp sci and psych degree, so. No, I'm going to, I'll write this out real quick. I think will just be the easiest thing. Into a comp sci class, pretty much. I mean, like, that happens, right? We made some good progress. And I am okay with derailing it a little bit. And then we will transition into Rain World. Oh god, no, my phone charger and my, all my wires, so tangled. Visually mute things. I have never heard someone say that before, but that makes so much sense. Well, I mean, that's basically what it's called, right? Because it's the same buttons, it's the same control, so why not call it visually muting? And gates, respectively, lost. Okay. Yes, we will absolutely check the graph thingy. Okay, there's my drawing tablet. New. Sure. Okay, making sure that it's not showing, like, a file name that's like, yes, here's my deep, dark, secret plans. Not that I actually put my name on my computer anyway, but... Okay, I think we're good. Oh, and hair reveal. Ooh. Okay. Unmuting screen. Well, hey. So. All right. So, we have. So. Whoop. There we go. So, and is this. We've got or. Love the Celeste background music during all this. Yeah, isn't that going to be great? Or was, oh god, it's Brain. Half adder. I want to make sure that I'm actually getting the right circuit layout for logic gates. There we go. Logic gate. Thank you, Wikipedia, for having them nice and laid out. Wait, no. Okay, there we go. So it's that scoopy thing pointing in, pretty much. Yeah. So OR is whoop. It's like a little Star Trek symbol, right? Oh, this is the most beautiful things that you've ever seen, right? Yay! OR. So they've got inputs and then output. You've got inputs and output. You were right. Yeah. We've got. So we don't really need NAND, but yeah, so NOT is usually just denoted as like a little negate symbol. So like a NAND would just look like that, right? Or a NOR. And then we've got XOR, which is sort of the other big one that isn't dealing with NOT. And so that's going to be that, and then we do another little one like so. Okay, best drawings we've ever seen. Oh yeah, no, not at all phallic, definitely not. We're just so excited for programming. So a half adder, you've got A and you have B. I know this is literally just redrawing what we had on Wikipedia, but this way I can actually draw the things out. So we'll have this be the AND. Half adder? Yeah. It's called a half adder because it's not what allows you to get to like full on addition. It only adds when it can. It's basically you need to string. I think a full adder is basically just stringing two of them together, but I forget. Or on or off, right? Yep, absolutely. So hold up. So we do that. This is not going to be the cleanest circuit diagram that you've ever seen, but there we go. There we go. So A splits off there and is also an input there. And then here. Oh, you know what we should really do? That'll be red. And this will be a blue. Okay, so A, because I'm going to be quite messy about stuff, so A is going there, and then B is going here. Okay. Prita, yeah! I used to use Clip Studio Paint, but then the license expired, so now I don't. You string a lot of them together for large numbers, but yeah, well, I think a full adder is one, because it's something where you also have storage and such, where you're pulling stuff. I made a full core logic unit at one point. It's been a while though. A full adder has 3 inputs, yeah. Because you're basically getting the output of a previous one. I feel like CSP and Creator are actually quite similar, but okay. So we've got, so B, actually, I should even color code these. Okay. Nope. It's been a while. Okay. There we go. A, okay, this is the most lovely diagram you've ever seen. So, we've got A, and then we've got B. God damn it. It does have quite a bit going on. I did actually use it for a couple of animations at one point, but okay. So, if I'm going to use true and false, but then we can talk about it as ones and zeros. So if A is 0 and B is 0, right? So we've got A, so we've got 0 and 0 is going to equal 0, right? I guess I should say so. And 0 equals 0. And then, good animation tools. I've not messed around with the Krita ones, yeah. And then we've got 0 X or 0 is also 0. So we labeled this one as S and this one as C. So in this case, 0 plus 0 equals 0. Yay! That makes sense, right? That's our that's what we're hoping happens. So in the case of 0 and 0, woohoo! Everything's good. So I should actually just fill these in like this, shouldn't I? So then I can do this. Wait, no, I should also get rid of those first. There we go. So sum and carry, and then XOR. Okay, so 0 plus 0 gets 0. Yay, that's what we're looking for, right? That's how addition works. Yes. If A equals 1 and B equals 0, that's going to be sum and carry are the wrong way around. You are absolutely correct. Thank you. You are absolutely correct. See, this is why we work through it. Yep. Carry is with the and. No, you're absolutely right, because that makes no sense. Thank you. I think I flipped around the top and bottom from the other diagram. It will still work though, right? The top and bottom doesn't matter, but yes, carry and sum matter. So now we have the case of 1 and 0. So 1 and 0 is still 0, because true and false, you're still going to get false. Oh, I was in the Celeste category and logic. Sorry, we'll probably do a little bit more after this. I should actually, no, we probably won't. Should change it. We started talking comp sci during Celeste, so sorry about that, Super Dasher, but welcome in if you want to stick around. We're just roughly explaining what like a half adder is, because some people were asking about assembly code. But no, that is actually, hold on, we'll make that just chatting real quick. As I get very easily distracted and I forget to change such things. Logic gates? Quick lesson times. There we go. Love coding. Well then, perfect. I am someone who has a comp sci degree and does not use a whole lot of it, with a lot of people who know comp sci better than me, but we like to talk about stuff. Logic gates jump scare? Sure, yes. Logic gates, there we go. So logic gates jump scare with Yapping. There we go. Hooked him in chat, start the ritual. Category is the off-topic part of the stream. Yeah, honestly, pretty much. This is binary code, correct? This is whenever you are doing code. This is what the computer actually is, right? Because a computer, computation, it does computations. Definitely don't know better than you. I just know a couple things I don't for some reason. Well, in full honesty, my computer science program was brilliant for getting us hands-on experience with web development. It sucked for actually explaining a lot of the underlying things, except for I had a lovely professor that I chatted with about a lot of this stuff. It has been quite a while. I have forgotten a lot of it. This is the material process that a computer does. Exactly. There are circuits. When you're looking at a motherboard, well, actually, I don't know the motherboard because I'm terrible with the hardware components, but the bit that does the what does the actual do? This is what it's doing. Has this in a physical way, right? They're just really, really teeny tiny. Exactly. Like this is very, very, very small, because a full core processing unit is many of slightly different circuits strung together. Speech 100, right? Yeah, no, perfect. Hey, Uno. Logic circuits don't literally look like this, but yes, no, these are representations of it because you're using different things. Oh god, at one point I knew how it worked, but I think you're using resistors and such in different cases for it so that it manages, but again, electrical engineering has not also been mine. Because I love coding job, I can speak? Yeah, no, no, that's, part of what I've realized is I like talking about code more than I enjoy writing code on the clock. Hooray, I've mathed with Nobo's graph thing, yay! Hobbyists who learned C++ on their own in high school found out about Python and basically never looked back. Fair enough. But okay, so for the case of 0 and 0, we get 0. For the case of 1 and, so 0 plus 0 equals 0. Yay! So 1 and 0. 1 and 0, right? That's true and false. We want it needs to be true and true to be true. So that's going to be 0. And then XOR, it's 1 or 1 exclusively or 0. So that's going to be 1. So 1 plus 0 gets us 1 because that's going to light up this one. Ding, 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 ding. Yay. Check Discord immediately. Okay. But yeah, living Celeste reference. Last months have been rough on mental. Oh, gotcha. More motivated to go. Yeah, no, it is tough, but okay, we're doing the check Discord immediately. We will see whether or not we refund your points. New Celeste player core? Is this what you want, what you're trying to show us, Uno? And we will hydrate in just a moment. Okay. How do I get through chapter 1? How do I get past this room? Wait, was that a apple? Oh god, okay. How do I continue? Oh god, the pain. How do I get through these cosmic things? Okay. Oh, hey, and this is, yeah, this is the logic gate stuff. We will look at that more in a little bit because I want to get back on track. Hey, more art, lovely, and programming puzzle game, neat. Okay, back to the coding though. I'm calling that complete. I am taking those 10,000 points because that was not on the programming topic. But okay. But see, that's why we have it, and that's why I have it in escrow. So that 10,000 points has been taken out of the ecosystem. That was not on topic. It's lovely, but we could have checked that at break. How do I get this apple? Because they thought it was an apple. But yeah, no, that's, so Super Dasher, I totally get that. Streaming has been something that tangents within tangents. Streaming is something that I was doing because I am kind of between things to do, although I start a job on Monday as a library page. Yay! It's something that I was doing to just sort of make sure that I was doing something in my day. I was actually originally planning on like trying to make games and a bunch of other stuff in the meantime, but just finding stuff that helps keep you moving, it's tough to get motivation, but you find ways to do it. And so, you know, don't beat yourself up over that. Just keep going with it. I believe in you. Hi Johan, hi everyone. Welcome in Tiziel, how's it going? Music, Celeste, screen, half adder, speech, how to stream. Well, not even how to stream, just like in general, like how to live, right? Creative process, creative pursuits, those are awesome. Right, I need to water. I will be back in a moment. Wouldn't it be funny to use other brushes? They just bother me. Your name's not everyone. But no, just like in general, mental health is tough. But you know, it is something I use streaming as a technique of getting through that when I wasn't working, so on and so forth. So, you know, just finding things that help keep you moving so you increase the opportunities to code or whatever other creative pursuit you want to work on. I believe in folks. But all right, I am going to mute for one quick moment so I can go grab some more water. So, one moment. We'll be back. I forgot to maybe unmute myself. Crazy. Boom, boom, boom. Hydration accomplished. Thank you. Tags Hollow Knight. Yes, that is something where I used to tag the games as we were doing them, and I may or may not have kind of forgot. Or more accurately, I need to come up with more general ones. Okay. So logic gates. So here, yay. 1 and 0 is 0, and then so this is 0, and then this. Whoop. So this comes out 0, and this comes out 1. Yay, so our sum is 1, and we carry nothing over. So 1 plus 0 equals 1. Yay! Everything is making sense. Amazing. About X NAND? I don't think there is an exclusive AND. I don't think that exactly... I don't see how that would work. Why did we start talking about that? Because we were talking about assembly code. Also, God, this really likes flickering. And then, so 0 and 1 is going to be the same thing, right? Because it's... the logical combination is the same. So we've got 0 plus 0 equals 0, we've got 1 plus 0 equals 1, and 0 plus 1 equals 1. So what happens when we've got 1 plus 1? Because this is true and false. This is ones and zeros, right? Or ones and zeros. It would be X NAND, yeah. But like I don't know what that would actually represent. Doesn't happen to it could be an issue with my tablet or something, could be. Have I disabled Windows Ink? I believe so, but I'm not confident. I think it's also a lot of it's yeah, I don't know. I will troubleshoot that before I do another art stream. Because it's not that's like not when I'm typing, so I don't know what's going on. It might you know what I bet is actually part of it? I wonder what happens if we actually close Celeste. What? I said return to map. It refuses. Neither one is working. Interesting. I'm stuck here. Okay, hold up. So we unplug the drawing tablet, we replug in the controller. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jammer. I know that was a very long way of writing it out. I just wanted to show people that, like, okay. Turn to map? Yes. So X NAND is XOR? Oh, okay. Weird. I guess... Oh, wait. I guess I still don't understand how you would do an exclusive AND, but... there we go. Okay. No, you are finding that barrier. Apparently, no. We'll figure that out another day. Makes sense in a mathematical way, I guess. I would need to think it through a bit more because you've got I guess exclusive AND. Let me finish this before we go off on that. Well, false is just true. So okay. So yes, so we've got 1 plus 1. So what happens in the case of 1 plus 1? Well, that's 2, right? But in binary, how do you represent 2? You've got 0, you've got 1, and then 2. Well, we should actually be writing these with their, two bits, right? So 2 is represented like so. So how do we do this with our half adder? A equals B, where XOR is A is not equal to B? Oh, okay. Oh! But that's just AND, isn't it? Because AND is... It's, so... A, B... A, B... Oh god, it's been so long since I've done one of these tables, right? So, if A is true... Wait, no, that's not how that's done. Oh, that's right, so we do A, B, and then B, A. There we go. I think? No? Hold up. So A and B... 1, 0, 1, 0. So that's... No? God, it's been so long. Oh, how do I do one of these? Because you're trying to get every combination of 1 and 0 for either one, so... But you shouldn't ever have A and A. I'm trying to remember how to do a friggin' logic table. Oh, wait, no. Oh, duh. Right, you just do the 1 and 0 anyway. 1, 0. So, God. Trying to figure out how this would look. So 1 and 1. So and, right? So and 1 and 1. So true and true is 1. 1 and 0 is 0, 1 and 0 is 0, and 0 and 0 is 0. So that's already A equals B, right? So what's X and? So how I see it is XOR is true if 2 bits have different truthy value. X and is true if 2 bits have the same truthy value. Therefore, X and the opposite of XOR or XNOR are the same. But that's, no, 0 is equal to 0. I have control set up to drag canvas. Weird. Huh? I believe if you press 2 on the keyboard, it centers the canvas and fits to the window. Wait, no, that was F2. Oh, weird. Okay. Huh. I have not done that. Okay, so about 0 and 0. Oh my god! I see. Wow. 0. No, 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 no. Because and. Oh, that's what X and is. Or oh. Oh. So it's. Sorry, I was like, what? No, that's not how and works. No, sorry, I was drawing it out for and. So, okay, so that's and. So, gotcha. So, X and is also including false and false. So, if it is false and false or true and true, so, okay. That's, yeah, that doesn't feel right to me, but I can at least accept that. Okay. I follow. I understand now. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. In any case, thank you guys. So okay, so basically what happens here is, so if we've got 1 and 1, the sum is going to be 0 because it's exclusively, because exclusive OR is going to give us 0 for that value. Tangent of the tangent is over. And so that's going to be 0. And then the and, right, is going to be 1 and 1. Well, hey, that's true and true, so that's true. So the carry is now 1. And that hopefully makes sense, because that's what gives us that 1, 0, right? That's giving us, basically our outputs are 0 and 0 gets us 0. 1 and 0, or 0 and 1, gets us 0, 1, right? So the carry is 0, and so 0, 0, 0, 1, and then 1 and 1 gets us 1, 0. Every time I undo, does it? No, it's not happening. Oh, it is dragging the canvas though. Weird. But yeah, so that's, so 1 and 1 gets us 1, 0. So, so yeah, so very basically, a half adder is just a way of setting up a logical chain where 0 and 0 gets you 0, 0, 0 and 1, or 1 and 0 gets you 0, 1, and then 1, 1 gets you 1, 0. Because that's binary addition. Without changing keyboard shortcuts, you can move the pen away from the tablet before undoing. Gotcha. No, because when I move the pen away from the tablet, it doesn't do the undo. But yeah, I will look into setting that up. I did not realize that would cause flickering. That would be very useful to fix. But yeah, so that's all it is, and that's what your computer is doing on a very basic level. That's addition. There's also ways to set up circuits so that you can do binary subtraction, and you can do binary multiplication, binary division, right? All of these different things are things you can do. I remember that memory has something so that you've got like an input bit that gets it to sort of loop in sort of a stable way, because you've also got like timing gates to control all of this. So there's a lot of complexity that you can get into with it, but this is like the most simple component of your physical computer. My creed is cursed. I mean, yeah, pretty much everything I touch is. But so on a very basic level, your computer is composed of things like the half adder, and into a full adder, full subtractor, full multiplier, full divider. It all gets wrapped up, and you're putting in inputs. It selects which one to output and write to memory, and so on and so forth, millions of times per second. So I don't have a great or detailed understanding of this, but physical computers, you can sit down and you can electrically make something that does this, and you could electrically create something that would perform addition for you in binary. That takes a lot of work. We figured out, well, hey, we can do this, and we can write software that allows us to press a button on our keyboard, I should not just press random buttons. But we press a button on our keyboard, and then it will basically write those appropriate values to the appropriate memory addresses to execute circuits in particular ways that we want. Electronics made into circuits, made into logic gates, put in ways that do the things the computers do. Exactly. So binary is sort of the lowest level. It is speaking in this language very directly. There's still layers of abstraction, right? It's basically, we're typically not knowing like we wouldn't look at the circuitry of the computer and go, oh, when I'm typing in this particular byte, that's going here. But you could, I believe, technically do that. You would just need a lot of very detailed things to figure out where the memory addresses are. But that the binary is physically represented in the computer. So if you're doing binary coding, I know on like a Commodore 64, you could type in, basically you could open a program that was just a long string of bytes and you could change things. I remember doing this at a computing camp. We ran a C64 emulator. Basically we changed the screen color from blue to green because we physically changed the RGB value. So you can, so that's what binary is. Binary is literally you are going in and you're tinkering in the memory. And well, okay, so what does, what does what? Oh God, no, not giant calligraphy pen, please no. So like, what does 10101100 mean at a particular memory address? I just chose that random. I could, calculate that into a number, but I don't have to know exactly what the number is because that number can mean anything. It is simply a number that is stored in your computer. Now, it might have several bytes working together. It might also not be actually interpreted as a number. Maybe that first bit is used to determine whether it's a positive or a negative. So then it sort of reduces that, like the idea of like assigned integer. You can also have stuff so that it's got something attached to it, so that gets interpreted as a letter, as a character, right? That's why you've got like ASCII or hex codes for letters, right? That's 0 through 255. Just a chunk of data that is manipulated by other chunks of data. Exactly. And you include information about how to interpret it. You come up with particular ways of signing the bytes to say, hey, I want this to be as a, a signed integer. I want this as a normal integer. This should be interpreted as a decimal or a character. It is just information that we have created a structure to interpret in particular ways. So you can look at the same series of numbers and they can mean completely different things depending on what they're doing. But that's binary coding, is basically having to understand how the computer is going to interpret those bytes and then manually manipulating them. No one wants to do that. We used to do that with punch cards. We would literally physically take, because computers would basically, I believe they would check if there was light passing through at points. So for that for that one, it would be like, so this will represent a hole. So that would be 1 0 1 0 1 1, and then 2 more spaces. And so you would physically punch out your programs and then run them through, and it would execute on them, printing out another punch card. Which, goddamn, I mean, I believe that's like during World War II, like Bletchley Park type stuff, right? That's how they were doing decoding. So yeah, binary is a step up from that, right? That is binary code and it's a marvel, absolutely. You then have that in sort of an electronic way, which is still an absolute marvel, but an absolute headache. No one wants to do that. So what you eventually do is you come up with something like assembly, where it's been a very long time since I've dealt with any sort of assembly. I was using MIPS, I think. But basically, rather than just directly doing all of the bytes, assembly looks, let me see if I can actually find an example. Assembly program MIPS. Boop, boop, boop. I just get like an example MIPS function. Sure. University of Washington? Sure. So MIPS has 32 general purpose registers. So this is some assembly code, is looking at memory and manipulating that, right? Yes, exactly. So like this is assembly. So assembly, you're dealing with So when you create like a variable, you can define a name for it in the code, but that variable you're still ultimately saving to an actual memory address. Control Z on my keyboard to undo, or it's a button on the pen. I probably just need to mess around with the Wacom things. That looks more like C. It does, right? Because C. Oh, actually, sorry, which are fragments of C programs. My bad. C is pretty low level. You are absolutely correct. No, you're absolutely right. Thank you for catching me on that. I should have read that more. So, yep. But I'm like, oh, I remember some of these things, but no. So here we go. This is actual assembly. So in C code, I equals n times n plus 3 times n. Okay, so we've set all of that up. In assembly, hey, welcome back, Avon. So you've got these keywords, right? These are functions that are built in. You've got like a card. Yeah, so we're talking briefly about like history of computing. Because we start talking assembly. But so you've got these like keywords that are baked in. I forget what LW means. Okay, so that's like look right. And so then you pass it a particular value. This is too complex for you. But this is not anything that anyone needs to do for programming, right? But just showing how bad it used to be. So basically, you have these keywords that you look up and then you pass things into them. So n times n, because n is being defined as I guess this memory address, because this is like the register. With the shortcut sayings and creator, stop using the button on the bed. Yeah. But yeah, so basically you've got these things. So like look right, multiply is a function. And then you're taking stuff from the register. So I believe T0, that's basically you're saying, okay, so I'm going to write n, which is the number 4. I don't know what this GP means, but we're going to write that to the register at T0. We're then going to multiply T0 by T0. I forget why that's showing up another time. Load word, thank you. That sounds about right. N is known to be a particular bit memory. LW takes an address and returns the value at the address. I believe, oh god, it's, okay, so hold up. So MIPS load word. Here we go. Load word instruction. No. There was a reference sheet. Hold up. Okay, that costs money. No. So there's just like MIPS reference sheet. I'm not just going to search pictures of boxes on Google. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so LW. Okay. So T equals the memory, S plus I. Okay. So what's that? So $S. So they're just using that as a stand-in. $S plus I. God, okay. So SW is store word. Dear God. But yeah, so basically you've got a reference sheet like this, and then man, I should do this justice. I should actually do I should refresh myself on it, and I should do just like a little bit on stream with actual MIPS. But very fundamentally, you've got this reference sheet. Bad MIPS reference. Great, love that. Some address S signifies that as an address, S is just a variable name. I believe that's the case. I believe that I forget the significance of that because like D, S, and T, I remember those all mean different things. Because those are this is a reference. Exactly. No, I have not played Infinite Pizza or the Night Thing. But we've got a lot, as I said previously, we've got a lot of other things that we're getting through. But yeah, so very basically, you've got these instructions which are all stored, I believe, at basically it is stored with the program. It knows where it is. So when you're writing that, it's referencing a memory address, I think. Or it might not even be that. It might not even be that the functions are at a particular memory address. It's that you it is still in telling it what to do with the things that you pass it. Honestly, yeah. I think I've forgotten this. I think I've forgotten enough about this that I can't actually do good justice to it. Um oh god, right, the opcodes. Ugh. Um so I should refresh myself. I should write a simple program in it again, but so that we can talk about it. But it's rather than all of these lovely classes and higher order objects and whatnot, you are literally like to save an integer. I think MIPS does have a way of like giving it a name, but you're still ultimately you are writing it directly to an address and pulling it out programming stream. Yeah, I do want to do one of those at some point. Um, we kind of got one last week, just a little bit of light CSS. Um, but yeah, it's very interesting when you actually mess around with it. It's not as bad as it looks. I'm making it confusing because I've forgotten how a lot of the stuff pans out. But basically you're saving things directly to a memory buffer on the program. Have to refresh yourself on everything I've ever done in programming. I'm just kind of stuck right now. Not a good time to be since you need to find a job. Programming jobs are really hard to find. I had a friend who was working for a year and a half on finding one. Genuine I mean, I am an ink blob on the internet that you met like what 30 minutes ago, so take everything with a grain of salt, but genuine advice, keep applying for jobs, keep looking for good programming jobs that you want, but find something to hold you over in the meantime. I did 3 months of retail. You can do 3 months of retail. You can walk out 2 weeks afterwards. There are a lot of places that will hire you if you walk in. It's crappy pay. If you don't really like talking to people, it can suck, but it makes sure that you're earning something and you can still be doing a job hunt during that, and it can get you more references. And one-to-one conversation with the computer with assembly. Well, yeah, no, one-to-one is one-to-one is binary. Binary is literally you are doing it directly to the computer. Assembly is like you have so, assembly is like you've got a translator that knows a couple of words in your language so that you can kind of like go like I'm asking a question and then you can say whatever your broken thing is and that will kind of help smooth things over. Because they'll go like, "Oh, okay, so that's what he's trying to get at, so I can kind of make that work." Binary is great because that means you understand the computer and you can get stuff really precise. Assembly gives you a lot of ability to sort of get in there because you are managing a lot of the memory directly, and then you get into the higher order programming languages. C is technically higher order, but it's much lower on the end. You can deal with a lot of this while still having the nicer features. But things like Java, memory collection, garbage collection, all of these things are stuff that's kind of managing it for you. Struggle much less with web dev, even if that doesn't pay much, it's better than retail. True. Contract web dev is something that gives me a headache because I don't like having to do time estimates, but go for it. I've been doing a little bit on a volunteer basis, and it's fun. Like me, hi, Johan. Hello, my name is Johan. I'm a streamer at. But yeah, so assembly, very interesting. It is better than trying to write binary. It's still not a whole lot better. So be thankful that we've got Java. is my very sort of basic takeaway for that. But things like assembly, things like C that are sort of this like intermediary between binary and the computer, so that you don't have to learn what a half adder is, are really nice. And can allow people to make really optimized programs. But most of the time, again, like this was back when computing was on the order of like megabytes on the high end, right? Now that we're dealing with gigs and terabytes of information, you can afford to be sloppier. And that's not saying be sloppy. There are a lot of games that should not be as sloppy as they are. And just sort of keep eating more and more resources. Chrome tabs, dear God. But be very happy that we have gotten to a point, just like I don't have to go out and hunt my own food, gather my own berries. I can go to my freezer and grab a cup of ice cream that comes in a plastic thing that was, mined from half the world away with cows that are nowhere near me. I can go do that. That's kind of the equivalent of how we've moved beyond assembly. So be happy for that. But knowing what a half adder is fun because you can make calculators with stuff that definitely should not be used to be a calculator, like marbles. Absolutely, right? Like it's good to know it, I think. I'd love to do data management or anything that Python excels at because I love low-level programming, but Python's cool too. So AI, right? Favorite programming languages I'd love to learn more of are C, C#, and Python. Gotcha. Python, I just need a good linter that gives me my curly brackets and semicolons. Animal Well is a great example of a not sloppy game. I'm not familiar. Depends on what you're programming. Absolutely. Like that's you can typically get away with not having to worry about stuff this much, which I think is good. But right, not everything needs to be tight. Some things need to be tighter. No, bad Johan. No, I don't like using just white space. It's harder to read. Yes, we will do the graph thingy. I did just want to double check. Oh, what was I thinking of? No, I was going to check the name of the game. Animal Well. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that is now in my search history, so I'll be able to find it again. Thank you. It's not harder to read. Come on, legitimately, it is for me. I use white space as a cue for things, but there are a lot of times where having the actual bracket really helps me actually figure out where things are. Semicolons I can do without. That is me being fussy. Genuinely, that is me being fussy. I accept that. Curly brackets help me a lot. Animal Well is fun. Okay. Search something in Google like maybe Buff Bob. No, you have Google. You can search it yourself. I am not a search engine. I'm happy to talk about stuff, but I'm not here to just search up random things I have no control over. There we go. There we go. Hydrated. Thank you. C, because it's low level enough for me to learn, but not low level enough that I get a migraine. C# because I've spent a bunch of time and generally like what it can do. Python because it's Python. Don't know. I like graphs. Fair enough. But yeah, no, like Python is really cool. I need to deal with it more. Most of what I've dealt with Python for was doing some like programming with Qiskit, which is like some quantum programming that I did not understand the math behind, but I went, oh hey, quantum programming actually exists right now. Let's mess around with it. But yeah, no, like I should mess around with it more. I know that a lot of AI is actually being done with some Python stuff, but I really want to code a neural net from scratch to just understand them. But remember that art idea that you had like a week ago or something? Finishing that now. Nice. Just install some random Python package that lets you compile Python with curly brackets. No, and that's what I was saying. Like I need a better linter because there's linters that allow you to type the curly brackets and then it just ignores that. Quantum programming, that scares you? No, it's been around for years. I remember I was just like existing and then there was like a documentary I was watching said, oh, by the way, we've been working on these quantum computers for like the past couple of years. I went, no, last I checked, that's been like a decade out for the past like as long as I've been looking at it. No, apparently like the first quantum computer was built in like early 2000s. Quantum computer first. Oh god, it wasn't even that. It was 1998. Jesus Christ. It was 2 qubits, so like but neural net from scratch. If you want to code back propagation, I wish you luck. Well, it is not something that I want. It is something that I want purely as an educational thing because I know I could go just deal with TensorFlow or whatever, right? But I don't understand a lot of the principles of machine learning, so I want to learn that better. JavaScript did this insane thing of making semicolons optional after they've been required for years. Hot damn. Of course they have. They've just not been useful as of now due to complications. Ideas. Well, I knew the idea was there for a while, but last I had looked at it, everything I had seen was basically saying, we can't actually make them. That's a whole different problem. But it turns out that, yeah, no, we can make them. They've got a lot of issues, like we're still trying to develop fault tolerance, but they exist, which is super neat. Yeah, it's super cool. I don't think we've got anything. We've got a bunch of proposed quantum algorithms that will do things like break basic security on the internet because it kind of a lot of security is based off of really large prime numbers being multiplied together and then making it hard to do the factorization because it's guess and check so that we can basically agree on numbers and exchange that in plain sight without that being sniped. Whereas quantum computing, there's some proposed algorithms that could basically guess and check that. And I attended a lecture a little while back where the guy pointed me, I've still got them in a notepad somewhere, pointed me to a couple of interesting thoughts on what basically quantum defenses would look like, what quantum encryption would look like, which I have not had time to get around to. Plus, I probably couldn't understand it. I only understand it at a very basic level. Are my family members? Oh yeah, they are good. Things worked out well. We are all cruising. Modern neural nets are like black magic. They have code that looks at the structure of your neural net and figures out how to backprop automatically, right, which I don't like that. I know that black boxes are... Sorry, one moment. Thank you very much, Super Dasher, for the follow. I really appreciate it. Glad that you're enjoying. But yeah, no, it's I don't like dealing with things that I don't fully understand. Now, I'm fine doing a bit of that, but I really like to understand, or at least have the capability to understand on a nitty-gritty level. I accept that the way they work, we do not really get to look into them and understand exactly what they're doing. That's kind of the point. We're offloading that. But I want to understand how they get there before I start making them. Gotta go again? All right. Thanks for hanging out. See you in a bit. And by bit, it could be any amount of time. Crazy how humans manage to get to the point that a bunch of ones and zeros in a row have the same thinking capabilities of humans. I genuinely, like, yeah, we're a ways off from having the same, like, reasoning capacity, but we're getting closer and closer. I mean, the fact that those ones and zeros are allowing me to have this conversation with 12 people, I guess one of them's me, so 11 people from across the world, many of whom I do not know the face of, who do not know my face, while streaming a little ink blob that's going in, growing a little larger to represent myself because I don't want to have my face on the internet. While we've got this lovely piece of art that I wish I had art credits for. It's just one that's my background. I feel bad. I should have something else in front of it. The fact that I'm having this conversation with folks because of that's so insane. Like, good job, humans. What was that sound? Yeah, it was the follow. Cool game. Yeah. The nitty gritty of neural nets is a good idea. I kind of feel that way, right? Like, I understand the very basic idea. I watched a program that was, in theory, trying to code one from scratch, and then he stopped it partway through. But like, understanding a little bit more about like the weighting and such was helpful. Been saying for years, one day computers will be able to make art just like humans. No one I went to college with thought it could happen. Wonder what they would say if I showed them Stable Diffusion. Yep. No, I'm like, we are getting there, for better or for worse. Again, like, I go read Childhood's End. I think that ultimately AI will probably be something that we should view as like a child of humanity, but there are concerns. I don't think humans are ready to be good parents yet. But yeah, so it's AI is interesting. History of computing is interesting. It's amazing what we've been able to do with it. But I do not like the degree to which I do not understand a lot of the technology around me. And it's something that I like to work on. But this, I was talking about a little bit earlier, and then I got sidetracked on a sidetrack on a sidetrack. But the YouTube channel that I've not done any video essays for, but I do eventually want to do some things for, is called The Printing Press Revisited. The reason for that is this fantastic song, which I've mentioned before, called The Reinvention of the Printing Press by Eric Peterson and Mischief Brew. And one of the lines that really sticks with me and why I love it so much is, machinery mill us forever will rule us until we find out how you're wired. And that to me is something that I think is very important. I think that of all of the things that of all of the problems in the world that I look at, to me that is one of the most solvable, is trying to understand the things that we're using, understand the machinery, figure out how it's wired, and then get other people understanding it, even just a little bit better. The fact that I will fully admit, I don't know how to repair my car. I don't know how to repair my washing machine. I go to the washing machine repairman for that. And that is a beautiful thing. The fact that we have an economy that allows people to specialize so much allows us to have a processing chip in our computers that's mined in the middle of Africa and brought halfway across the world to somewhere else where it gets put together and then popped in something that gets shipped on a container across the world again to make it to your laptop distributor that is then able to send that to you. It's insane. It's insane the level of industry that specificity allows for us. We could not have the things that we have without that degree of specialization. At the same time, it bothers me that I don't know how to repair the things I own and use. I don't understand how they work. This morning, I saw a lovely 1937 animation on how a drive shaft differential works. I never seen that before. I'm terrible with the spatial reasoning of it, but that was so good. That has helped me understand that so much more of how the slipping works, because when you're turning, you can't have the wheels turn at the same speed, otherwise one slips. So you get something that allows basically it's gears so that I would need to find the animation. I'll post it, but because here's the thing. I understand it a little bit better, but not well enough to fully explain it. But I don't know. That's me rambling a bunch. But I think technology has too much authority in our lives, and I don't know if we're mature enough to use it. What we thought AI would do, replacing menial jobs and give us free time. What AI actually did: make pictures and target ads to people. Yeah, and show us what news and whatnot. And I'm sure it will have more, right? But we will see. You have an announcement? Uh-oh. What is this announcement? Your 11:21 p.m. brain is dying. I would like to talk much more about this, but recently just worried about many more things in your own head has tried best to go against you. So I'll take the time to rest. Have fun talking technology. Do love listening to the talks. Good night. Get some good rest. Thank you for hanging around. I'm glad it's enjoyable, but yeah, this ultimately taking care of yourself is the first priority. So get some good rest. Thank you for hanging out. You have found the creator of the fall background. Oh, lovely. And who is it? You use the trick of sleep deprivation this time. No. Because yeah, that is something that I found in the wallpaper engine, and I'm like, I don't know. Anis Abdin. All right. Let me. Anis Abdin Fall. Oh my god. That's it. Thank you. Then I will figure out a good way to include credits for that, because like I don't know, like I want to figure out how it got there, right? But awesome. I will need to look at some of their other art, because that's absolutely gorgeous. Did you just use a reverse image search? Gotcha. Because yeah, I've tried reverse image searching it before, and all I got was all of the people who had duplicated it, which I hate. I'm like, I could sift through it, but hot damn. Um, so Nobo wanted us to check coding? Yes, because graph stuff. Um, so N is total number of nodes, C number of connections, node E nodes of type E, S nodes of type S, B bridges ideal. Oh my god, I'm suddenly remembering you sent a picture of this a while back. Yeah, went from screenshot of your stream to full image for that one website, and then finding it on their Instagram page. Gotcha. Okay, neat. Thank you. Um, I'm somewhat embarrassed that I didn't manage to do that myself, but thank you very much. That's yeah. So we will get that there, because I'm like, the previous image, the like ukiyo-e print, that is one where they've been selling the rights to that. I have purchased. I had digital rights to that photo. I don't know if I actually had digital rights to display it, but I was using it as a background on my laptop, which is fine. Streaming may be a little iffy, but I figured like I have paid them, and I will call that mostly good. I do not think it will come up, and I do not feel morally weird about that. Okay. Whereas that one, I'm like, I don't know. It's from software I paid for, but I don't know how the art got on that software. So bridges, ideal triangles, ideal from type E nodes, unideal from type E nodes. Okay. Equations for your graph thingy. N equals E plus S, so number of nodes is equal to nodes of type E and S. Okay, so there are only E and S nodes. C, connections, is 3 times E nodes plus 2 times S nodes divided by 2, so average those. No, that's not averaging. Okay, so S, nodes of type S, is 2 times B plus 2 times D, so bridges times ideal triangles. And you were trying to figure out if N could be odd, which Sigma proved false. I'm good. This is way beyond. This is way beyond what I typically do. I am not that much into deep math, bridges and ideal triangles. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Okay, so N, graph theory for the win. Yeah, like I have only very basic understandings of that. IUTTDD. Oh, a single hair, very nice. So D is an ideal triangle? No worries. So ideal triangles. T is an unideal triangle. and that's because it's a triangle, but it doesn't have two of whatever. So it doesn't have two S nodes, it only has an E node. Short version of the proof is there must be even E's due to total degrees of all nodes having to be even, and even S's due to S's being paired off. Ah, okay, so S's are always paired, and since it must always be even, okay. I'm going to be totally real. Just like I could not probably do the assembly thing, I am not going to be able to figure this on stream. um, yeah. Type E node rules must have 3 connections exactly. Oh, actually, that might help. There we go. Three connections exactly. At least one has to be another type E node. At least one has to be a type S node. Type S must have exactly 2 connections. At least one must be type E, and at least one must be type S. You sometimes try to prove some Nobo's other statements. Gotcha. But okay, so E's have to. So both of them have to be connected to at least one of the others, but and then E is always 3 and S is always 2. Okay. Okay, so that at least gives a little more structure there. Gotcha. Intriguing. Oh, hey, functional programming stuff. All right. Code aesthetic seems to be something that you send a number of times. I should probably follow more of that. Okay, we've done some good programming stuff. However, I've only got another like hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if I'm pushing it. So we're going to take our little 3-minute break and then come back with some Rain World. Because dear God, I'm so interested by that game, but still trying to figure out what's going to be my impetus to move forward. So we're going to take a 3-minute break. This is a fantastic time to remember that you have a corporeal form. Please take care of it. Stand up, stretch, check your posture. Grab a snack, grab some water. I grabbed some water already. Evacuate whatever bodily functions you need to do. If you've got meds and now is an appropriate time to take it, this is a fantastic opportunity. Oh God, I've worded so much. This is a fantastic opportunity to take your drugs if this is an appropriate time to do so. Look out your window. Remember that there's a lovely world outside. It's not all just the ink blob talking about programming that is only half remembered. And yeah, if you've got something else that you need to transition to in your day, this is probably a fantastic opportunity to do so. Your impetus is to be awesome by beating the game. True, but what is beating the game? I'm eating food. If I simply thrive and survive, is that not beating? I need to figure out what is beating. The fact that there is a story, though, somewhat drives me. The fact that we can hopefully find a fellow slug cat. Do you know if we check in Special March? Thank you for the reminder. we will come back. We'll check the marsh thing, and then we will get right into Rain World. Thank you for the reminder. Me frazzled? No, never. I remember everything and go just chugging along in a straight line. God, the code. Okay, so we will come back. We will check on Marsh, see what the spooky special update is, and then get into some more Slugcatting. Join 10.6% of the players who got the credits. Okay. All right. So thank y'all. We will be back in about 3 minutes. But yeah, catch you on the flip side. Bye for now. Bye.